This video is just going to be a quick comparison between the Acer Chromebook R11 and the Asus Chromebook Flip. These are two very similar devices. They can both fully turn into tablets. They're both touchscreen as well, and they both are the first two, along with the Chromebook Pixel, to come with Android apps. So they've both got 4GB of RAM. The Acer, which is on the left, has 32GB SSD. The Asus on the right has a 16GB SSD, but that's not too much of a problem, as both, when bought brand new, come with 300GB worth of storage on Google Drive for 2 years. Now, in terms of ports, if we look at the left hand side of both of them, on the Acer we have the power port right on the left, a full-size HDMI, USB 3.0 and a SD card slot. On the Asus we have the charging port, and then the battery indicator. The indicator tells you it's actually turned on, the volume rocker and the power button right there on the right. On the right hand side of the device, on the Acer, we have the power button, the headphone jack, a USB port and a Kensington lock right on the right there. On the Asus we have a mini HDMI slot, 2 USBs, a micro SD card slot, and then the headphone jack right at the end here. In terms of build quality, the Asus is a lot nicer, as it's fully metal. The whole thing is made very nicely. It's more got like a MacBook style finish to it, whereas the Acer only has an aluminium top to it. The rest of it is just white plastic, which can make it feel a little bit cheaper. The Acer has an 11.6 inch display. The Asus has a 10.1 inch display. They're both IPS, they're both HD, not full HD, but for what they are, they're very good. They both cost £250. Now I'm just going to test the speed of the web pages. So go on to Google Chrome, then we're going to load up the New York Times on both of them, because that tends to be quite demanding due to a lot of adverts. Let's have a look. So the Acer is loaded first. A bit jittery and trying to scroll still because they're both still loading. And Acer has finished, and now the Asus has. So both take a little bit of time, but I mean, it's nothing terrible. I mean, they're both just glorified tablets really, but they are both very good. Now, in terms of the speakers, the Acer actually has much better speakers than the Asus. Both of them are located on the bottom, which you might think would muffle it a bit, but it's not actually bad. Both of them are very clear when you're actually listening to them. It's just that the Acer is louder. I'd say go back to the screens. I don't know if you can see from this video because of what I'm filming it with, but the Acer actually has a better screen. It's much, I think it actually looks whiter, whereas the Asus is a bit yellower really, which isn't great. And we've got the keyboard. The Acer has a full size keyboard, whereas the Asus does not have a full-size keyboard. This is more of a keyboard that you'd sort of attach to an iPad sort of size. These keys are a lot smaller, but I actually find it easier to type on this one. I prefer this one quite to that one by quite a lot. The Asus is quite a bit lighter than the Acer, so if you're wanting to carry it around, say one-handed for whatever reason you might want to do that, then the Asus is just a lot easier. It's literally like carrying around a tablet. And if you're going to chuck it in your bag, the Asus is going to feel less weighty than a bunch of books in your bag. You wouldn't even know it's there. Whereas the Acer, you might know it's there over the course of a day if you're wearing your backpack for a long time. So I'd say the main selling points of these devices are, if you're going to pick one and have it as your main laptop, if you're a student and you're going to write your essays on it and do your research on it, you're going to watch Netflix on it, if it's going to be your one main device, then I'd pick the Acer. It is bigger, it's got a better display, it's louder, and I think just using the keyboard for a long period of time, most people would prefer the full-size keyboard. So yeah, if it's your main laptop, go for the Acer. If it's not going to be your main laptop, like mine, because my main laptop, I've got a MacBook Pro, then I'd say the Asus, because I don't need another larger laptop with really good speakers or really good screen. I want something that's light and easy to use, and as a tablet, the Asus is better, I believe. So I'm going to rotate them both into display mode. Like so. They're both very useful in this form and as tablets as well. This is the main selling point of these two compared to other devices, as these two are the only ones that do it like this at the moment. So these two devices come with Android apps on them. These two and the Chromebook Pixel are the only three at the moment that actually come with that as standard, which means you can download apps such as Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, etc. that you would for your Android smartphone, and these download straight to your SSD, not to the cloud. So when you're taking that into account, the Acer with its 32 gigabytes of SSD is better than the Asus with only 16 gigabytes of SSD, because that's going to get taken up a lot quicker. It does mean that you can get apps such as here on the Asus, I have the Evernote Web, I have Spotify Web Player, which is dreadful, and the Spotify Android app. So you can pick and choose between those, and you can decide which one you'd rather have. I definitely choose, for Spotify at least, the Android app with these, and that comes on both of those. It's not just the Asus that you can get that. In terms of the trackpads on them, as I've said in the Acer Chromebook review, the trackpad on this is probably one of the worst trackpads I've used. It requires too much pressure. It really does. Than should be needed, whereas the Acer is much more usable. That's just my quick comparison between the Acer Chromebook R11 and the Asus Chromebook Flip, the two very similar devices on the market at the moment, going for both for £250. That's how much I bought them for. And yeah, if you're looking for your main laptop, go for the Acer. If you're looking for a secondary laptop, go for the Asus. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment on what I can improve on. Thank you very much.